Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Vlogmas Day 5. So in today's video, we are going to be doing a little baking. So I've been wanting to make apple cider donuts for a really long time now. I love apple cider donuts, but I just can't find them everywhere. Especially good ones. I feel like the only time that I'm able to get good ones is if I go apple picking, and I don't go apple picking often, especially because I don't have a car. So I've been wanting to make apple cider donut, and I figured what a better time than Vlogmas to try making them and indulging because it's the holidays. However, we are gonna add a little twist to it. We're gonna be doing a little baking while baked. I haven't mentioned on my YouTube channel that I do indulge in those activities, in the gardening activities. Y'all, I live in New York. It's legal here. And yeah, you know, I like to indulge from time to time. And I was gonna do this video. My god sister was like, wait, why don't you do like a baked while baked video? And I was like, you see, you're onto something. So I actually just took a gummy like 10 minutes ago. So I actually have to go to the supermarket and grab a couple more things to make this. I'm missing some cardamom. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Missing that. I need to get some vegetable oil to fry the dough, and then I'm just gonna re-up on some more brown sugar. And then other than that, I think I have everything else that I'm gonna need. So I'm gonna go run to the supermarket while this gummy kicks in, and then I will hop back on camera when I'm feeling a little bit nicer and a little bit more relaxed than I do now. So I will check in with you guys in about 40 to 45 minutes. Hey y'all, so it is quite a bit of time later. That trip to the supermarket did not go how I was intending on it going. They didn't have this one spice that I needed, and then they didn't have the brown sugar the way that I needed it either. I needed like, what's that called? Let me just show you guys what I got. So I got more flour. I got some vegetable oil. This is the type of sugar that I needed, like this packed sugar. The sugar that I have is more like this, is more grainy. And for the cinnamon sugar coating around it, I needed this. So I needed to go and get this. Once they didn't have this, I was like, all right, it's all done. Now I need to go somewhere else. And then I got some apple cider. I actually already had some, but my husband bought that one from the farmer's market, and I was like, can I use it and I'll just get you some more? He was like, yeah, but that one was like all natural. And I was like, all right. So when I saw this, I was like, I'll just get this and leave him his all natural one. And then the thing that I couldn't find, it's cardamom. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but this was super expensive. They had 3 different brands. One brand was $20, one brand was $17, and this one was $10. I was like, what does it have? Gold? Like, I'm confused. Anyways, that is everything that I got, and that is some of the ingredients that I need. I'm about to eat some dinner really quickly, and then we're gonna come back, because if I don't eat and then I'm also, you know, gardened, girl, this is really gonna turn out bad. So I want these to turn out good, so I'm gonna eat so I can get some fuel in my system, and then we'll come back. All right, my loves, so I finished eating dinner. I took out everything that I'm gonna need. I have it all laid out here. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. So this is everything I'm gonna need. I also put a ring light because I feel like it's always dark when I film here on like one side of my face because of the light. So I was like, let's see if that looks better. I'm also filming on my DJI because I don't know, I want to switch up the vibes a little bit. So let's go ahead and get into this. It's 8:20. Let's see what time we finish. Hopefully my goal is 10:30ish. Let's see. Okay, so it says in a small saucepan, bring the cider to a boil over medium high. So how much cider do I need? 2.5 cups. I have my measuring cup. This is 1 cup. That was 2, and then half. Right, I used about that much. So I'm gonna bring that up to a boil. This is medium to high heat. So move it about halfway for me. And then it says do that for about 45 minutes. Transfer to a heat-proof mixing bowl and cool to room temperature. To cool cider, whisk in sugar, eggs, melted butter until well combined. So I need to melt butter, so I should probably do that as well. You know what? Let me watch the YouTube video back actually, because there's a YouTube video on it. That way I can like have a visual idea of how this goes. All right, y'all, I'm back. I just finished watching the video. So good thing I watched the video because first of all, the recipe says 45 minutes. And on the video, he says 15 minutes. So maybe I'm reading that wrong, but that was a little confusing. So you're basically only supposed to let the apple cider reduce about half, because once you take it off the stove, you want to have a cup of apple cider left. So I have 1 more minute to be 15 minutes on the stove. So then I'm going to pull it out. And if I have too little, he says you can just pour a little bit of apple cider and it'll be fine. But the problem is I have to let this cool. I have to melt butter, and then I'm supposed to mix my sugar in here. So this needs to be cooled down significantly. And then another thing that I didn't notice, because I thought about doing this like this specific, I was gonna do a baking video. I just wasn't sure if I was gonna do baking apple cider donuts or if I was gonna do something else. I was also thinking about making this cheesecake pecan pie, but I settled on the apple cider donuts. But when I was watching the video, he said that the dough is supposed to rest for 2 to 12 hours. So I was like, well, it's 8:30 and I'm probably not gonna finish this until like 9 p.m. making the dough, because I have to let this cool. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start editing while the 2 hours happen, and that way once I'm done frying the donuts, all I have to do is edit the frying part, if that makes sense, because this video needs to go up tomorrow or today when you guys are watching it. So I'm just trying to think strategically. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. So while this cools, I'm gonna start melting my butter, and then I'm gonna probably pop it in the fridge really quickly, and then we'll start assembling so we can get the dough done by 9 p.m. It's 8:37, so let's see if I can actually do that. Also, I never mentioned, but the gummy did what I had to do, so we coasting. All right, never mind. So I just put that in here and it was still 2 cups, so it hasn't reduced at all. All right, well, while that happens, I'm gonna go ahead and mix my dry ingredients so I feel like I'm doing something. So let's go back over there. All right, y'all, so I put my butter to melt and my apple cider still reducing. I'm gonna go ahead and mix my dry ingredients, because once they're cooled, then I can go ahead and put them in here. So, oh my god, so much flour has come down. So it's 3.5 cups of flour. Okay, so that's 1 cup. Y'all can't see, but I'm making a mess. 2 cups. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. 3 cups. This is 3.5 cups. I need to take my butter out because it's starting to melt. All right, so I went ahead and took off my apple cider. This is my apple cider, and then my melted butter. So while I finish mixing my dry ingredients, I'm gonna go ahead and let that cool, and then once it's like not piping hot, I'm gonna pop it in the fridge really quickly. All right, so I'm gonna need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That's 1 teaspoon, and then 2 teaspoons. One thing about me is I'm gonna triple check something just to make sure I don't mess it up. 2 teaspoons. 1 teaspoon of salt. 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. 1/2 of baking soda. I wish I could play music, but YouTube copyrights me. I mean, you guys are probably listening to some background music, but I can't. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom, and then 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Alright, that is everything you're gonna need for now for the dry ingredients. Alright y'all, so my cider and my butter are pretty much room temperature. So into this I need to whisk in my sugar, eggs, and butter. So sugar, let's see, how much sugar do I need? 1/2 cup of light brown sugar. So I'm gonna use this one. So 1/2 cup of light brown sugar, and then 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. I'm gonna go ahead and mix that together. I'm gonna go ahead and pour my butter as well, and then 2 eggs. 1, 2. So I'm done mixing my apple cider mixture. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my, take you guys back so you guys can see. I have my dry ingredients. I'm gonna go ahead and pour my apple cider mixture right in. And now I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing. My dough is done. I've been watching the video in the background just to make sure consistency is correct. He said it's gonna be sticky, mine is sticky. Honestly, it looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover this with a kitchen towel for 2 hours. And then I'm gonna go ahead and clean, do what I gotta do, and then we'll come back and fry these up. He said that you could do this the next day, but they won't puff up the same. So I just feel like it's better if I just fry them tonight so they puff up. And then I'll probably have like a donut hole tonight and then have the rest tomorrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover this and I'll check back in 2 hours. Hey my loves, checking in. So I actually made the executive decision to fry these donuts in the morning because I was reading the recipe and it was saying that I can chill and cover the dough from 2 to 12 hours, and it's 9:27 now. So that means if I fry them by 9:30 tomorrow, they will be just as good. And honestly, he was saying that it's better to eat them day of. So I'm like, it's better if I just fry them tomorrow. That way I can just like nibble at them throughout the day, and my husband comes back tomorrow, he can eat them as well, versus frying them tonight and then them not tasting as good because I can't eat them like too many tonight because it's will be like midnight by the time they're done. So I just went ahead and covered them in some plastic wrap. I'm gonna go ahead and pop them in the fridge and then we'll fry them tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna go ahead and end out for tonight, and then I'm gonna get up early, fry these donuts, and then we'll close out and upload this video same day. So I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Good morning, my loves. It is the next morning, so it's just about to be 10 a.m. I took out my dough about like 40 minutes ago. I've just been letting it cool here on the counter. So I just rewatched the video back so I could have a clear understanding of what I'm supposed to do. So I have my station set up. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. Also, don't mind my appearance. I put on the heatless curls because I have like a look in mind for today, and I feel like it would look nice if my hair is like slightly curled. So those kind of have to sit in for a couple hours. Still need to like do my makeup. I showered and everything, but I still need to like fully get dressed. Let me go ahead and show you guys. So I have some parchment paper right here. I got my dough, and then he said to heavily salt your station, so I did that. I have my iPad to watch it, and then to cut the donuts I decided I'm just gonna use this cup right here. He said a 3-inch cutter, and this is exactly 3 inches. And then I was trying to figure out what to use for the donut holes, and then I pulled this out. This is exactly 1 inch, so I'm just gonna use this. He also said to make sure that you put whatever you're gonna use to cut the donuts into flour. So I just have a little cup of flour here. Put that right on all the flour. So now he says that you wanna pat it down to be about 1/2 inch thick. So I'm gonna add some flour to the top, because again, I don't want it to stick. Okay. So then I'm just gonna pat it down. And then he also mentioned that if you feel like your dough is sticking, just pick it up with a bench scraper and then just add flour. So I'm gonna do that. I don't really know what 1 inch thickness is, so we're gonna figure it out as we go. Okay, this was actually a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. So while I do this, I'm gonna go ahead and start heating my oil. It needs to get up to 350. So I'm gonna go ahead and then I'm gonna keep patting this out until it's about 1/2 inch thick. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting up my donuts. So dipping this into, and this is just like a cup from Crate & Barrel, I wanna say. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get as close to the edge as possible. Okay, and now see, that's still kind of stuck. I'm gonna grab my bench. Oh, okay, it picked right up. So that's a donut right there. So now I'm gonna use this. All right, so I'm gonna dip this in here. This is not traditional at all. So I dipped that in there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go right in the center. I don't know where the center is. That was not the center at all. At all, y'all. Okay, wait, that didn't really work out the way I thought it was going to. Okay, there you go. Now we have a donut. And then we have a little donut hole. Cool. All right, I'm gonna keep doing this. Some of this did stick to here. So I was able to get 7 donuts out of that. this is how much dough I have left. I'm gonna go ahead and re-roll the dough so I can see how much more I can get. I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera. I have my oil here heating up. I did end up using all of this. This was a 40-ounce bottle of vegetable oil. I don't know if that was too much, but he said 3 inches of oil, and that seems like about 3 inches. So yeah, I'm gonna let that come to temp while I roll this out, and then we'll start frying. I'm gonna go ahead and start frying these up, and we'll be having donuts in a bit. So once I finish frying them, I'm gonna put them in my wire rack right here, and then we'll make our cinnamon sugar. Donuts done. Honestly, they look a little dark. They look a little burnt, but I don't know. I just think it was like, I don't know what that's about, but they're not overcooked because I was checking the thermometer and they're not overcooked. So don't mind the darkness. This is my first time, y'all. Like, we're trying. Also, I have to put this jacket on because I ended up having to open up the door because it stunk like oil. So I went ahead and made my cinnamon sugar. It was literally just 1 cup of sugar and then a tablespoon of cinnamon. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump this right in. So dumping it, and then dumping the other side as well. Trying to make sure I get the sides. Ooh. Okay, honestly, you can't even tell. Look, y'all. Oh my god, wait, that looks so good. Wait, I'm kind of shook. I thought it wasn't gonna cover how dark it was, but you literally can't even tell. I'm a baker. I'm a baker. Okay, let me do another one with you guys. So literally just like dumping it right in there and then flipping it over, dumping the other. My SD got full, I had to delete some footage, but just dump the other side and then roll it on its side. And then there you go. That's a apple cider donut. You guys, I'm very impressed with myself. Now I need to taste it. I'm just gonna taste a donut hole right now because I do want to eat something before I like open my stomach with a donut, even though I'm literally about to do that. So this is a little donut hole. So now let me do a little taste test for you guys. That's pretty good. Honestly, he did say that this donut recipe is a lot cakier than most. Like, that's why he fries it. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue to coat these with this cinnamon sugar. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get ready, eat some breakfast, and then I will hop back on camera to eat 1 full donut, give you guys my final thoughts, and close out today. Check in with you guys in a little bit. As you guys can see, I got ready. Honestly, those heatless curls did absolutely nothing. To give them the benefit of the doubt, I also didn't have them on long enough, but to get ready. So I went ahead and heated up one of my donuts. I put it in the microwave for like 15 seconds because I wanted to make sure I tasted it while I was really warm. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little taste test. They're definitely good. Not my favorite apple cider donuts though. I've definitely had better. These are very cakey, which he did say. I'm definitely somebody who prefers like a Krispy Kreme donut where it's just like you bite it and literally just like melts in your mouth. This one is definitely a mouthful because again it is more of a cakey consistency, but it's really good. It does have like that apple cider donut taste, so I really like that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish eating this, and that's gonna conclude today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to do more videos like this. I'm gonna go and film my outfit of the day, and then I have a PT session, and then I'm gonna rush back so I can finish editing this video and get it up for you guys today. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications so you get notified every single time I post a new video. And I'll see you guys for Vlogmas Day 6. Bye.